Assalamu alaikum. Today in this video we will discuss the sense of taste. For the sense of the taste, we have the taste bud on our tongue. Almost 10,000 taste buds we have over the tongue. Molecules of food stimulate the taste cells to send messages to our brain. The sweet and salty buds are the least sensitive, while the bitter ones are the most sensitive. In this animation, I'm trying to show that how the taste buds they are stimulated and send impulses to the brain, and this is the thing which we'll discuss in detail today. To have the sense of the taste, we must have the taste receptors. There are 13 possible or probable chemical taste buds or the taste receptors, two sodium receptors, two for the potassium receptor, one chloride receptor, one adenosine, one inosine, two sweet receptors and two bitter receptors with one glutamate receptor and one hydrogen ion receptor. This is the detail of receptors, taste receptor, while basically we have the four tastes in our mouth. um, we can have a fifth one also which is newly developed. So we have the basic taste of the sour, salty, sweet and bitter, and newly discovered taste that is the umami. Literally it means the delicious thing, and this is the fifth one. So basically for the four type of the taste we have the 13 possible taste receptor over our tongue. For the taste of the sour, we have the average threshold that is the 0.0009, and like that we have the different threshold for the different taste. This is the terminology that is the taste blindness. What is meant by that? Some people are taste blind for substances, and the most common that is the phenylthiocarbamide. For that 15 to 15 to 30% of the people they have the taste blindness, which means that they cannot have the same taste as the normal person can perceive, and the exact cause is not known. As far as the sense of the taste is concerned, it is related to the sense of the smell also. Obviously, any food having a good smell can be liked more by the person as compared to the unhealthy or with bad smell. You will reject the food. One thing, it determines liking and disliking of the person, and also it attracts the food if the smell is good, and also it shows good smell shows that the food is fresh. If foul smelling food is there, you will reject automatically the food, and you will uh, defense your body against the pathogens in this way also with the uh, smell of the food. So they are usually interrelated with each other. As you see the food with good smell, you will like that one and you will take more and more that type of the food. As far as the structure of the taste bud that is concerned, the outer tip of the taste cells they are arranged around a minute taste pore. As you can see from this picture here, the over the surface of the tongue, the pore we can have protruding from the basic taste bud. Sorry, this is the basic structure of the taste bud. And in between we have these nerve fibers which are going to convey the impulses generated at the taste bud to the higher center. Here we have the epithelial stratified squamous epithelial layer, and these taste buds they are also surrounded by the these epithelial cells, so that in the taste bud we have the nerve fibers which are going to convey the impulses to the higher center. On the upper boundary we have the epithelial cells, and close to the taste bud we have the sustentacular cells. You can see these are the sustentacular cells which are going to support the taste buds. And so in this way, these are the pore which are going to detect the taste, and through that one the and how the nerve impulse is generated. The process is same as opening by the opening of the pore. More and more sodium ions comes inside and change the permeability of the taste bud cells, and that is conveyed through the action potential is generated, and that is conveyed through these nerve cells to the high centers. We will discuss it just a bit later. As far as the location of the taste buds they are concerned, they are arranged in a very specific manner. We can have this picture also. Very nice. And not only it is showing that what is the location for the specific taste over the tongue, and so that we can have and the sweet taste over the tip, and salt close to the tip, while other taste sour over the lateral surface of the and bitter posteriorly. This is the distribution for the taste buds for different tastes. While the taste buds they are arranged in a very specific manner. Posteriorly, they are forming the V shape circumvallate papillae, while on the lateral surfaces of the tongue we have the folded papillae, and on the tip we have the fungiform papillae. Each taste bud responds mostly to one of the five primary taste stimuli when the substance is in low concentration, while if the concentration becomes high, it can stimulate two or more taste buds also. This is the arrangement again showing the distribution of the different type of the taste over the tongue. How that is the mechanism for the stimulation. Substance causes the taste here to depolarize. Taste impulses from the end. You can have the impulse generation of the nerve impulses. Again, the membrane of the taste cell, that like that of the most outer or no, most other sensory receptor cells, is negatively charged, as I have told you. So, application of the taste substance over the taste buds that causes the loss of the negativity and generate the receptor potential, and which is conveyed to the high center. For the salty and sour, the receptor opens specific ion channel, and the process starts, while for the sweet and the bitter the second messenger is activated. That's the bit difference between the stimulation of the salt and sour and the sweet and the bitter. And as the nerve impulse and nerves fiber they are abundantly lies between in between the taste buds, so the generation of the nerve impulses take place, and that is conveyed to the high center. You can see this one from this animation. The taste receptors they are stimulated, action potential is generated, the permeability changes, action potential is generated, and through the nerves they are conveyed to the brain. This one more animation showing how the nerve impulse that is generated. The tasters chemicals in foods are detected by taste buds. Special structures inside within small taste like receptors on the tongue called papillae. So they are stimulated and you can see in this animation. The further pathway for the nerve impulse generated at the tongue. How that is conveyed? Taste impulses from the anterior two-thirds of the tongue pass first into the lingual nerve, then through the chorda tympani into the facial nerve, and finally into the tractus solitarius in the brainstem. As far as the impulse conduction and convey to the brain centers that is concerned, we can divide the portion of the tongue in different areas. It is different from the anterior side, from the lateral side, from the posterior side, from the nasopharynx, pharyngeal um, area. So we can divide these into different categories. From the different portions of the tongue, they are going to the high center. So you must remember that from the anterior to the that is first going to the lingual nerve, to the chorda tympani, then facial nerve, and then the tractus solitarius. From the circumvallate papillae on the back of the tongue, from the posterior side, and also from the posterior side of the mouth and throat, they are going to the glossopharyngeal nerve. And from that, the tractus solitarius. They are also joining the tractus solitarius, but somewhat a different pathway through the glossopharyngeal nerve. Okay, then finally, few taste signals from the then from the tractus solitarius, from the base of the tongue, other parts of the pharyngeal region, they are going through the vagus nerve. So this is the main distribution of the nerve fibers along the different region of the tongue. From all these areas, the taste fiber they synapse in the posterior brainstem in the tractus solitarius. These nuclei send second order neurons to the small area of the ventral posterior medial nucleus of the thalamus, and then from the facial region of the dorsal column medial lemniscus. From the thalamus, the third order neurons they are transmitted to the lower tip of the postcentral gyrus in the parietal cerebral cortex, where it curls deep into the Selvin fissure and into the adjacent insular area. So this is the main pathway for the taste sensation. From the different regions, from the different areas of the tongue, they are mainly going to the tractus solitarius and then going upward to reach lastly to the parietal cortex. That is all about for the nervous pathway of the taste sensation. As compared to the other topics, the taste sensation is much easier as compared to the other physiological topics. Um, and for that one, you may be asked between for the nervous pathway and also the abnormalities which are not present in your textbook, and I will tell you somewhat later on. As far as the rapid adaptation of the taste is concerned, we have all experienced that if you take some sweet thing in a larger quantity, soon you lose the taste sensation or the sensitivity for that taste that decreases. So in the sense of the taste, we have this rapid adaptation of the taste. But these things, as far as the taste preference that are is concerned, all these things they vary person to person. And also some person like sweet taste, some like more the salty food, and also vice versa. So and some have rapid adaptation of the taste for one type of the taste, and some later on. So it varies person to person, not a fixed one. Taste preference result from a mechanism within the CNS can develop taste aversion or negative taste preference, that will be also discussed in abnormalities. One more thing about the taste, that smoking, that changes the taste of the tongue very much. But sadly, smoking detracts from the eating experience. In fact, smoking can decrease your sense of taste and smell, hindering the ability to let you fully savor flavors and fragrances. And so that is going to change it is one of the factors going to change the sense of the taste. As far as the abnormalities of the taste that are concerned, and further detail related to the abnormalities, this and one thing that it is not written in your textbook. I have taken this material from the other sites, so you must copy it and also listen, watch it, listen carefully. What are the causes? Number one thing, what are the causes and what are these abnormalities? So causes may be the sensory or related to the any abnormality in the transport mechanism, or the nerve which is going to stimulate the high center, that may be abnormal. So we can have the sensory loss or change in that one because of the oral cavity inflammation. In most of the time, the swollen gums or any bleeding teeth, they can initiate the process of the inflammation or can involve the taste bud also. And in that way, or in any other infection, especially in the newborns, the milk that can be accumulated over the, that can create the fungal infection, what in the bottle feeding babies. So due to the oral cavity inflammation, the sensory loss can take place. And the second cause is any defect in the transport of the whole of the mechanism. Dry mouth by heavy metals, intoxication, or closure of the taste bud by bacterial growth or fungal growth in case of the newborn especially. So in that case, if there is blockage of the taste buds that occur, that can that can block the transport mechanism, and there will be loss of the sensation of the taste. And the third cause may be related to the lesion of nerve fiber itself. What are the different types of the abnormalities related to the taste sensation? That is number one, the absence of the sense of the taste, either the total or the partial. Again, in that one, the nervous involvement may take place, or any specific disease like multiple sclerosis infection. It can involve the oral cavity or with that the taste buds. Or poor oral hygiene and smoking, as I have told you, some of the drugs, they can also change the taste of the tongue. So that, and or in old age, as we can have decrease in the hearing receptors, like that we can have the decrease in the taste receptors also due to the age factor. This type of the abnormality is can be total or partial. So it may be hypo or dis also. hypermeans decrease, so or inversion may take place, or the distortion of the perception, unpleasant perception may take place because of any reason, which because of any cause I have mentioned already. So this is all about the sense of the taste. Inshallah, in the next video we will discuss the sense of the smell. For that one time, Allah Hafiz, thank you, and Allah Hafiz. We will join the next video soon.